Hello, Twitch viewers, and welcome to anyone seeing us on YouTube. This is your daily dose of Donkey with Ginger, once again joined by the Mutant Gingy to talk about Week 5 of the NFL, going into Week 6. Am I
Week
right this time for once?
week 5. That's right, Donkey Ginger here. Yeah, we're definitely talking about week 5 NFL. What did you see around the league, Donkey?
I got to watch the Rams game, so I got to see that Aaron Donald is by far the best and most influential player of any team anywhere, as he just literally ran over the whole Washington Redskins offensive line. That was obviously too easy for him, I guess.
Not hard to do.
We have to wish Dak the best because that was just disgusting, and you don't wish that on anybody. Quick
Ugly.
recovery to you, sir. And speaking of ugly injuries, seeing Alex Smith get back on the football field, while it wasn't pretty, was a pretty thing to see.
Yeah, encouraging. I like that too.
How about you, Gingy? What you see?
Oh, I saw the the Vikings made a silly error, I believe, in the fourth quarter by allowing Russell Wilson to take the ball back after a fourth down call and giving him momentum to do it, and they got what they deserved on that one. So Seahawks are still undefeated.
And let's talk about something there. We have announcers going, well, the numbers say to go for it. Excuse me, but if the numbers say by converting you add 8% to your chance to win, but by not converting you decrease your chance of winning by 16%, the numbers tell you not to go for it because the results of a failure are a lot larger than the results of a success. So when the numbers say don't go for it, don't go for it. We need to teach these NFL people how to read numbers because apparently none of them took a statistics class in college.
It didn't work out for him. We know that much.
Well, no, when you go in with the wrong numbers, you get the result you should. And the result they should have got was a loss to Russell Wilson because why'd you let that dude have the football?
And they definitely did. Looking at the AFC North, something I'm particularly passionate about there. More of the same from the Bengals and Ravens playing each other. A lot of Bengals losing, a lot of Ravens winning. Pretty typical
Expected.
there.
Just expected.
And we saw a Browns team go and beat the Colts. I guess they were at home. They were in Cleveland, I think. But making it for going to be a very interesting game, coming up this week for Steelers versus Browns. They went in.
For sure.
They had some offense shown against the Colts there, but Colts without D. Leonard is a different defensive team there.
Definitely a different defensive team, but come on now. It's still Phillip Rivers being garbage is what really hurts there. I mean, Phillip Rivers plays a decent game, you win. It's pretty simple. It's just, why'd you sign a washed-up quarterback to be your franchise savior? Like, come on now.
You hate to see the veteran guy kind of give it away, At the very least, he could manage that game. Didn't do that.
Making Ben look like the only confident quarterback left from that draft class. Although I guess Matt Schwab's still technically in the league somewhere playing backup role like he does really well.
And last thing that really struck me from last week, Donkey, would be the Tennessee Titans. Played the best game of the season, looking like a real formidable opponent in the AFC. We're going to be seeing them in a few weeks.
I'll call Josh Norman in December to see if he's back to reality yet, because I'm pretty sure Derrick Henry knocked him into 2021.
He got lifted. He got absolutely lifted 10 feet in the air.
His grandkids got disrespected on that stiff arm.
Holy moly. But, if you look at Derrick Henry, he's just he's a beast, and he's running like a beast.
He is a man possessed, that is for sure.
But that Tennessee Titans team, I mean, so far this year, they played some games, and they're undefeated. They were all right, but really what I saw versus the Buffalo Bills there is what kind of what I saw last year in the playoff game versus New England, and that's an extremely formidable and confident football team that executes consistently with Ryan Tannehill at the helm.
Ryan Tannehill gets freed from the shackles of Adam Gase and looks like a stud.
Definitely something to watch moving forward.
For sure. All right, let's get into what we really want to talk about, though. Steelers
Here
Eagles,
we go, Steelers.
Battle
Here we
of
go.
Pennsylvania.
Here we go, Steelers. 4-0. Boom, boom. Here we go, Steelers.
I guess there's your spoiler alert for you. Ginger's having a good time.
4-0 for the first time since '79 in the good old days, Donkey. The good old days.
Yeah, boy. Good to see. Good to see. These dudes are getting sorted just like Philly's defense got ripped apart. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, Steelers actually had a touchdown on the opening drive, was it? I mean, they didn't.
Nope. Second drive.
I mean,
still 22 games without a touchdown on the opening drive. That streak still continues. Still terrible. Need to end that shit.
Still, yeah, that's definitely need faster starts to the games. You know, a couple things that I took away initially, even on that first Eagles drive of the game, first play of the game, I think it was Vince Williams in the backfield, and that's really indicative of what we've been seeing all season on that run D. Is, you know, guys getting hit in the backfield. Another good game from Vince Williams overall, I believe.
Yeah, Vince Williams playing downhill is a pretty thing to see. It's what he should be doing. Don't be making him cover those little running backs going out there. He's the downhill linebacker. Give him that, and he played it really well. But that was about the only bright spot for that defense, to be honest.
Another thing that struck me in the first quarter, Donkey, is the Steelers were called for their first offensive holding penalty of the entire season, which is really indicative of some good offensive line discipline up front.
Yeah, it's been a great year for them, and when you consider we got backups starting on that right side together, it really shows how well that Okorafor and Dotson are playing over there on that side. Because we've gone up against some good players. I mean, they went up against J.J. Watt. This week we played Philly, who's leading the NFL in sacks. It's not like they're playing bad. I mean, they gave up one sack to the best sacking team in the NFL. You can't say anything negative about that.
Formerly the best sacking team in the NFL.
Aren't we tied with them now? Didn't they get number 20 and we got 20? To be fair, we have played one less game.
Yes, I thought they only got one sack. Would have put them at 18 for the season. I'm not sure. I have to double check the numbers on that, Donkey.
You're probably right. I thought they had 19 going in, but what do I know?
But yeah, overall, got to be really impressed with the Rook. Claypool.
Oh, Mapletron.
Oh my.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
I saw a play. He took 2 steps from the line of scrimmage, and he shook the defender so hard the defender was 6 steps away from him after 2 steps. I'm like, how does that even happen?
Losing by 5 steps in a 6-step race.
Like that guy was going from Harrisburg to Philly while Mapletron's going to Pittsburgh. I think he got confused what stadium we were playing in, but got to see them terrible towels wave every time the boy went in the end zone. That was nice to see finally.
Oh, I bet you that was a treat for him too.
I never even considered the rookies haven't even seen that stuff. Woo.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a valid point. Let's give another shout out to an offensive playmaker that showed up. Ray McLeod showing off all that speed. Like, hey, Buffalo, thank you for letting this kid go.
The end-around Steelers, not looking too shabby.
The Matt Canada-infused offense Steelers.
There it is.
Showing all that little jet motion he loved to do in Pitt. I'm waiting now for the little shovel pass to Vance McDonald that Pitt used to always do to Scott Orndorff. Man, that thing was so effective. I just want to see Vance looking like he's pulling on a wham block, get the football, and next thing you know, he's 20 yards down the field, stiff-arming some dude to the IR.
Don't be giving away the trade secrets, Donkey. Alright, that's probably the next thing you're going to see next time we do a 2-point conversion.
Don't need to do 2-point conversions the way this offense scores. We do need that defense to step up, though.
Yeah, inconsistent.
Yeah. Ugly at times. Let's be honest.
Okay, specifically, if we're going to talk about ugly defense, Donkey, okay, I had to take a deep breath. It's hard for me to talk about, but there was a 3rd and 9 play. I know, that ended up with a draw and went 74 yards to the house. And during this play, that was the Eagles' first touchdown in the game, but, during this play, anybody who was watching the game, you obviously had to see Mike Hilton tackle air and nothing but air. It was brutal. I was yelling at my television.
I didn't watch the play live because I only got to listen to the game. So luckily, when I saw it on replay, I was just like, well, at least I'm not angry because I know how this game ends. But man,
Wow.
come on now. You go man-to-man coverage. You can't let your man go untouched.
Yeah.
And essentially, that's what happened.
Yeah, you stack them up in 3rd and long, and they run a draw, and that's what they're supposed to do, and you let them take it 74 to the house.
Let's just talk about 3rd and long defense, though. I think it was 1, maybe 2 drives later, 3rd and 17? Like, did they even try to play defense on that 3rd and 17?
Nah, and that's really indicative of that inconsistency that we're talking about. It really relies on that pass rush.
That pass rush is good, but that's the only good thing I can say about this defense. I mean, yeah, the run D was okay, but this is not the same defense I played last year. The players are there, the personnel's there, the talent's there. Something needs to start changing for them to put up what they did last year. Like last year, 20 points to a good team. That's all it would be. A good team would only score 20. Now we're giving up 30 points to nobodies, and that's scary when we go against the Browns next week, but just against anybody, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really, I hate to say this, I don't think that Minkah Fitzpatrick is having the best year. I saw some really poor tackling on his part during that last game.
There definitely was, but I'm going to say this as something else. So Minkah got a lot of plays last year, playing on the back end covering stuff. He's been a lot more up this year because they're doing, or a lot more just doubling one deep guy. And there hasn't been a lot of deep throws against the Steelers this year because they're afraid to throw it over the top, but also because the pressure's getting there, and Terrell Edmunds is playing out of his mind right now, which is helping everybody. I think Minkah's not playing as good as he did last year, but at the same time, someone starts throwing the ball deep, let's see what happens. I think this is going to be the week to watch against the Browns. The Browns like to move the ball downfield. This is the type of game that Minkah needs to show up for.
Agreed. I agree.
But I'd also like, while I was negative on the team, there's 2 players I'd really like to give a focus to on that defense that I thought played really well. Steven Nelson, I know he got torched a couple times, but more important, the Steelers is about causing turnovers, and he caused 2 of them last week getting his hands on the football. That's really good to see. And I thought, again, Alu was the reason that no one really ran. Like, outside of the big run play on 3rd down when he wasn't, I don't believe he was on the field. He's out there just clobbering it up again and getting push every run play right up the middle. And when you get push up the middle on run plays, it just makes it so hard for the opponent to do anything. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Steelers look like they're really running with effort. We got, I don't know, there was a play that I took note of, Donkey. A 3rd and 5 with an underneath pass to Ebron where he got hit, probably only after about 3 yards, but ended up picking 9 after he kept himself on his feet. Showed some really good balance there. He had a really tough break when he
athleticism, but
later on in the game. That was a tough break.
That was bad, and then he almost did it twice.
Yeah, he really did. I can't say it was super careless, though. It was a bang-bang play. You had to even establish whether he did a football move or not. And, I can't hold that against him, but it's definitely something that's got to be in the back of his mind, especially when, like you said, it almost happened twice in a row. But overall, I don't want to try to focus too much on that, but I'm more on the effort. Because I had said it earlier on in this podcast in the year, I kind of called him out. I didn't really see a lot of the effort. Maybe the first, second game of the season when he wasn't getting the ball, but it was definitely indicative on Sunday in terms of his care and passion and how he felt about that. So I just wanted to make that a point.
Yeah, that was good. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I thought the play of the game was the 2-yard sack by Stephon Tuitt. When Carson Wentz had a wide open guy going in for a touchdown, and Stephon Tuitt, only a 2-yard sack, but gets a hold of him right before he lets go of that ball. That just right there, that could have been the momentum switcher. That could have been everything. I felt like Tuitt just saved the game on that play. But,
yeah, Yeah, if you were
It was
watching
the first
it-
time Wentz didn't have the, as Tunch like to say the whole game, it was the first time in the zone coverage that Wentz didn't show paralysis by analysis.
Yeah, if you were watching it live on the TV, Jonathan Vilma definitely pointed that out very specifically, that there was a wide open guy in the secondary. I didn't get that on the TV angle that I was watching. I didn't actually see it, but yeah, I mean, that defense, that pass rush, when that pass rush is effective, Donkey, that defense is effective. But it's but it kind of reminds me of like a college basketball team that shoots 3-pointers to win. You know, you kind of live and die by that 3-pointer. If you're getting to the quarterback in under 2.5 seconds on a regular basis, it's fine. But when you don't, it's less than fine.
I think the concerning thing for me was this defense was rested that first half. We were controlling the ball. Time of possession was all us. They shouldn't have been giving up those plays. Those are plays you give up when you're tired. Those big plays, those long drives. Those are not things that should happen when you're a well-rested team, a well-rested unit. And a good team will take advantage of it.
Yeah,
Hopefully our offense will be better than the good teams, and hopefully our defense shows up to last year's form, because there's absolutely no reason why they can't.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this week what they do against the Browns.
I just have to give one more shout out for one of the better calls I heard too. It was from Jonathan Vilma talking about Schwartz out there disrespecting the Mapletron by putting him on a linebacker. He's like, you can't cover that man with a linebacker. What disrespect is that? Like, I loved it. Vilma was just ripping into Schwartz about it. Like, how'd you do that? And to be fair, that dude has 3 touchdowns already. He's about to score his 4th, which is the most the Steelers had since 1968. The first one to have a rushing and receiving touchdown since 1972 in Franco Harris. Well, rookie to have that.
Woo.
Rephrase. But I just love that Schwartz was getting called out on national TV because, seriously, how disrespectful is that? This dude's having a game like this and you're going to cover him man-to-man with a frickin' linebacker?
Well, you saw what happens when you don't give him respect. You get cooked to the house.
You definitely do, my gosh. All right, so let's look forward to this week's opponent, the Cleveland Browns.
Oh my,
I mean,
here we go, Steelers.
They're not your or my Cleveland Browns. They are definitely a lot better team than those versions.
Yeah,
Let's be honest here.
I mean, honestly though, this as a Steelers fan, this is what you get hyped for. These division rivalry games. I imagine it's going to be a close game. They always are.
Just the way rivalries work, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. Key matchups in that game, Donkey?
Our secondary. It doesn't matter which one you want to look at, which receiver you want to look at, whoever you want to say. Every member of our secondary needs to step up. You can't let Odell Beckham, you can't let Jarvis Landry go free. You can't let Kareem Hunt. If we match up a linebacker on Kareem Hunt, you can't let him go free.
Looking at you, Vince Williams.
As a pass-catching unit, right now the only thing holding them back is Baker Mayfield's inconsistency. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing holding that unit back right now. Hopefully we get to Baker, make him make some bad decisions, but if Baker's on, it could be a long day. Because our secondary needs to step up, and even if they do step up, I mean, our talent level's high, but I don't know if it's as high as that Browns receiving core. It's nothing against our guys, it's just that is one talented unit.
Yeah, I'm hoping that pass rush steps up again, and puts that pressure on Baker Mayfield, makes him make some bad decisions.
Let's hope so. Let's hope there's some turnovers in that Baker, because we know he's done it before. I mean,
You saw it against the Colts last week, and as a Steeler fan, my thoughts on Baker Mayfield. I'm gonna say right now that I think there's gonna be at least one instance in which he's rolling left, throws right across the middle, and throws a pick, because those are the kinds of choices that he seems to make.
They are. He's definitely not a great decision maker with the football. He's a talented dude, but he makes silly mistakes.
Trash.
And then let's go to the defensive side of the ball. I mean, it's clearly going to be, in my opinion, the offensive lineman who's looked the worst, Al Villanueva, going up against Gilbert. That's his name, right? Oh my god, did I say the wrong name? maybe.
I am not sure. I mean, you got
Miles Garrett.
I was gonna
that's
say
it. I was
Miles
like, it's
Garrett
not
in the
Gilbert.
middle there.
Miles Garrett. There we
He
go.
always, I mean, what he always talks about, he wanted to sack Ben Roethlisberger, and you had the bad blood last year. I'm not gonna get back into that again, but I hope there's no. I mean, there's going to be residual bad blood. It's the Browns and the Steelers. Let's be honest with you. It's going to be a physical football game. They're probably not going to have many nice things to say to each other. There's not going to be Christmas cards, and it's going to be some down-home AFC North football.
Let's hope the running game shows up then.
Yeah, you were talking about matchups. You were looking to, to specifically pick on this, the Steelers secondary, and that's going to be critical, I believe. But I really want to take a look, and I hope to see James Conner get started quick and started early. I'd like to see him continue on the ground at least 15 to 18 carries, depending on how that game progresses.
Running the ball will be huge. I do believe they're going to be missing Greedy Williams, one of their starting corners. I believe he got put on IR, which will give us a matchup with receivers. But I mean, DeCastro's out, Deontay Johnson's out. But I'd love to see Mapletron get a bigger going. I'd love to see Vance McDonald finally put up some numbers because he's been great on the blocking part, but I'd love to see a little receiving from him. There's nothing like seeing Vance run down the field and stiff arm somebody. Let's be honest, it's fun.
He strikes fear into the 180-pound cornerback.
I'm pretty sure it's Conti for the Buccaneers. He just put him straight to IR with a stiff arm.
Put him straight to the highlight reel.
It was almost as disrespectful as friggin' Derrick Henry's last week.
Almost.
But it just almost. But I don't know. This is the first year I go into it, and the Browns make me nervous. Like, I can say I've never felt that before.
Browns 4-1, Steelers 4-0. I am really looking forward to Sunday.
We got to say, though, we'll be the first real test for the Browns. I mean, outside of Baltimore, who absolutely walloped them, they haven't really played anybody. To be fair, we haven't played anybody. Our only real test was going to be the Titans, and they decided they wanted to COVID out of it. They weren't ready.
Oh, they'll be coming, though.
I'm not looking forward to that one, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they'll be coming soon enough.
But everything looks fine. I think the Steelers have some good matchups out there. I'd love to see Ben finally complete some deep balls. I feel like that's missing right now. The offense just doesn't seem to be able to hit the long ball.
I agree.
I mean, I know he hit one with a BS PI on Mapletron. I mean, terrible. But I just don't feel like they're hitting the passes they should hit as an offensive unit.
Speaking of,
I feel like Ben's not giving them a chance.
ESPI in that game was running rampant. Donkey. Officiating in and of itself was, oof.
The whole week, I watched 4 or 5 games, and every game was just poor officiating. Like, penalties that shouldn't be called, blatantly obvious penalties not getting called. It's like, what are they doing? Why are they even getting paid? I think Tunch in the middle of the game goes, I wouldn't even trust these guys to officiate a West Hills game. When you're saying they're not even good enough to do high school football, that tells you something.
Cutting them out of PIAA now.
Exactly. I mean,
wow.
I don't know. It's weird. A fun stat I saw end last week was the Steelers had 23 straight games without 30 points.
Ooh.
Until last week.
Really? That's...
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess it makes sense. We didn't end 2 years ago very well. Last season, that offense was hot garbage.
No Ben.
And the start of this year, it looks okay, but it hadn't, clicked. That was the first week where I felt like the offense put up numbers it should have. Again, putting away the game. I mean, you're up, what was it, like 19 points, 17 points?
17 points.
Made it a game again. Yeah. That's okay.
That's typical.
I would love to see them finish. I told you I thought last week would be the week they finish. Clearly, I was wrong. They didn't finish that very well at all. I mean, just need to see more of that defense, to be honest. The offense was fine. Like I said, I want to see the deep ball from Ben, but
in fact, give the props to the actual home field advantage there. The fact that they missed the 57-yarder at Hines is pretty much what allowed us to keep that 2-point lead there before we scored the final touchdown.
Oh no, I didn't jump off the world. I'm alive. That's good. But yeah, I mean, have you seen Ben complete a deep ball this year?
Yes, I hope so.
Like, he's looking better than he has on short passes, which is nice, but
he did last.
I don't know. I want to see that. I want to see that deep ball, man. I want to see Mapletron, Eric Ebron, 50 yards down the field. I want to see him give him a chance. Every time I see him throw the ball deep, it's like he's afraid to give the receiver a chance, and the ball's overthrown by 5-6 yards. And maybe, you know, he hasn't played football in a year. He's only had 4 games, so I'm not holding him hard against it. It's just really, that's what I'm looking forward to see. The Browns are the type of team that will give you the chance to make those throws. So let's hope it happens. Let's hope for the here we goes going again. Let's hope for 5, maybe?
5-0. Let's go. It's going to be a rough couple weeks coming up. I think the Steelers have some formidable opponents ahead in their future, and I think this is going to be one that they're going to want to have. If they don't have the game this week, it's going to be one that they look back and have regrets about.
For sure, no doubt. This is a critical stretch of the season.
Yeah, the next 3 or 4 games, I think, is going to really determine how things shake out.
The start was there. You can't have a letdown. You want to win this division, you cannot have a letdown.
Not when you're in the same division with 3-4 win teams presently.
Yeah, how about that? There's 3 teams in our division that have as many wins as the NFC East as a division.
And I'm pretty sure the Bengals would be first or tied for first?
Second place.
Second place right now? Okay.
Yeah, Cowgirls have 2 wins.
But, wow.
They were led to a win. They were led to a win by, of all people, Andy frickin' Dalton.
Well, you know.
He went out there and did Andy Dalton things. Threw a little floater down the sideline that looked ugly as hell, but was caught by his wide receiver.
You know,
Vintage Andy Dalton.
Jerry Jones went out and paid him money, and it seemed silly at the time, but yeah, it doesn't seem so silly now.
Not at all. All right, Gingy, anything else you're looking forward to this week?
Waving my towel and hopefully seeing the Steelers keep that sack average. 5 a game.
5 a game. And it's not just 5 a game. It's literally 5 every game.
Yeah.
How about 6? Can we go for 6?
4
Can
games.
we improve it
20,
a little bit?
4 games, 20 sacks.
Can we
leading the league.
It's been 5 sacks every game. Like, can we just get a 6? Can we get a 6-piece, please?
Just
Can we go to McDonald's and order a 10-piece? Like, come on now.
Just get Baker Mayfield's ice bath on standby. He gonna be sore.
Those ribs are gonna be really feeling it after this week.
He gonna be sore.
This is AFC North football, baby. Get ready to get hit.
I'm excited. Be a lot to talk about next week, Donkey.
Hell yeah. Hey, any shout-outs you want to make, Gingy?
Ha! Shout-outs. You always hit me with these shout-outs every week, Donkey. I'll tell you what. Shout-out to my boy SPL, Colts fan. I want to give him a heads up on Phillip Rivers, man. He was worried when he signed him. Still looking like time to be worried, bro.
You stole my shout-out. I want to give a shout out to SPL for being behind Gingy, hearing me make fun of his Colts and keeping quiet. I mean, to be fair, he probably had nothing to say, but damn, man, I wanted a little something over there. Come on now. Killing me.
We might be able to get him on Halo here in a little bit, but nope. That's good for the week, Donkey. Here we go. Wave them towels if you got them, folks.
Thank you, everybody who tuned in. We'll be back next week, probably back at the same bad time, same bad place. We'll be posting in the same spot. Feel free to reach us on the socials. If you have any questions, leave a comment on the YouTube. We will do our best to answer. Hopefully, we're getting better every week, and we can't wait to see you again. Until next time, let's go Steelers.
Mutant Xbox Live. Here we go, Steelers. 5-0, baby. Let's go.